Good evening, good evening, good peoples. What it do?
What do you do,
What it do?
do?
What it do? We want to welcome
What
you
up,
to
boo?
another amazing episode of the Fat Girl Chronicles. And y'all see what we got going on tonight. We still celebrating Black Music Month. We at the very last show of Black Music Month. And it's still gonna be another dope show. Like all month long, we have had amazing artists that I know personally, and I have been more than like excited and ecstatic to have these conversations with these people, learn some new things about them, learn, their journey through music and all of that kind of amazing stuff. So tonight, we got one of my favorite dynamic duos. We got Jared and Joshua Thompson. Or we got Joshua and Jared Thompson. I don't know who older. So either way, we got them here. And they are absolutely amazing at what they do. And so we're gonna get into that shortly. But hi guys.
Hey, girl.
Hey, how y'all
You had it
feeling?
right the first time.
What?
What?
I had what right?
Don't you start?
You got it right the first time. Phonetically, it's Jared to the A. You go
I was talking
alphabetical
about
order.
age.
So Jared and Joshua.
Big girl.
I was talking about age wise.
Yeah, I'm talking about
I don't know who
how
older.
you
He's alphabetically.
Miss School Teacher.
You over here talking about phonetically, with your phonics, with your language arts,
Whatever.
with your language arts. Okay, I
That's
see
right.
you. It's okay. It's okay. But we gonna bring them on shortly. Hey Dee, hey Jerry.
Hey, y'all.
How's everybody feeling? Make sure y'all hit the like, share, subscribe, heart it, and send us some stars if possible. Um, but we're not gonna hold y'all no longer. We're gonna get them to the stage.
You're
We gonna bring them on here.
Who was the
We
most
got we got
amazing?
none other than right here, right. He got no one other than my girl right here next to me, Miss Genesis, unique up in this thing.
What do you do, boo?
And then down here at the bottom, we got Pablo, Mr. More AKAs in the HBCU. I'm not finna run them down, but you can if you want to. You know what I'm saying? I know how you do. Go ahead, do your thing.
pinkies up. That's all. Nah, pinkies up. More
Okay.
AKAs and
Okay, you
HBCs.
going simple tonight. You
Yeah.
going simple tonight. Okay. I dig it. I ain't mad at you.
Mm.
So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we got Joshua.
Pew, 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 pew,
And,
pew.
Ooh, what's going on?
and we got Jared.
Pew,
Hey,
pew. Okay,
peoples.
my horn is
Don't
terrible.
mind her generic air horn. Please don't mind that.
Oh,
That's what that's supposed to be, her generic air horn, but we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna
we don't have sound effects, so we make 'em. Pew, 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 pew.
she
Well,
we've been doing it for months and we just let her keep rocking and rolling. Like we're not gonna steal her joy, but
Please don't.
eventually we're gonna have to. We're gonna
Please
have to
don't.
and get a real air horn going.
I think it is legit for real. Okay.
It's embarrassing. It's Black Music Month and we ain't even got no real air horn sound. So that's what we have to deal with in
Yeah.
the interim.
Yeah. Next season we're gonna have a real air horn. Don't worry about
Something like that.
When we come back next season, it's gonna be a little different because we can't do that no more. We can't keep dealing with that. But hi guys.
Yeah.
Hi.
What's going on? What's going on?
You guys, what is going on? What's going on? I'm so excited that y'all on here. Like I am super excited. And we were talking before the show. We were talking about how people can tell the difference between y'all two if they saw you without your names on here, okay? They saw you without your name tags or the labels. I was saying that I was trying to figure out the difference between you two. And I was like, oh yeah, it's usually the hair. Because before, Joshua had the locks and you still had your fro. Now Joshua then switched the style up on us and
Well, see,
I'm allowed to. I'm allowed to do that. It's
and
my,
little known, I had locks before Josh did.
Ooh.
I didn't know that.
So here's the thing. Joshua will always, I will do a different hairstyle, something different. And he's smart. He's firstborn. He's just like, I'm going to see if this looks stupid on him. And then I'm going to wait and see if I'm going to do it or not. So that's how that works.
Every time. That went for the locks. We used to rock a box top for a long time back in the 80s. And
with the J card in the back of the
man.
Okay,
Yeah.
with the little carving.
Let's go.
Cause yes.
So I was
And
like
see-
first, but I'll let him look crazy first. That's
Yeah. The
I mean,
easiest way to
smart,
tell.
though. That's kind of smart, though.
Easiest way to tell if we're not by our instruments. Easiest way to tell. I still have my earrings in. Joshua does not.
Okay.
Yep.
And he's got a mole on the right side of his nose, and I have a mole on the left earlobe. That's it.
That's a lot.
And your hair is bigger.
There's a lot of detail.
And the other thing too, like we just don't look alike. I don't think we look that much alike at all.
Y'all really do, though.
We don't.
Yeah.
Know.
Yeah. I hate to say it. I thought y'all was twins at first. I mean, that's just me. But now I got all these extra details to distinguish you by.
Yeah.
I probably won't remember past this episode, but I'm going to have to just replay it just to get it.
It's all good. I know. What's my man thing? I don't think we look that much alike at all. What you think?
So yeah, when I got on, I was looking. That's the whole thing. That's the whole time I was doing. I was like,
I'm trying to figure it
I
out.
was looking at
what's
the
the
promo.
difference? Like now that I'm speaking, y'all hear y'all speaking, I can tell what's the difference. But
Mhm.
if y'all just walked up straight towards me, like who's who? Yeah, nah, I'm in trouble.
Hey,
All right?
guys.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. So don't feel bad. Just be like, hey, what are the it's
I'm like, my man Jay, what's going
Yeah,
on?
that's it.
Right, for real.
That's all you got to do. Believe me, we have been called a lot worse before, so don't even worry about it.
Okay.
Listen, I always like when I look at them, I'll be like, I try to look at them from afar as I'm walking up to them,
Mhm.
so that they won't be like,
Give you a little
"Hey,
bit more time to distinguish the two.
yeah, give me a little more time to figure it out as I'm walking up to them to figure out who is who." But now I just, like I said, it's the hair. Jared's hair is bigger, so I can always remember that. And then, like Joshua said, Jared has earrings, Joshua doesn't, so I can remember that easily.
Okay.
Y'all good. It's all love.
Yeah.
You're good.
So why do you say y'all really don't look alike?
Because we don't. I mean, I will say it because facts. Next. No.
Okay.
Listen,
I-
looking at y'all, y'all not identical. Y'all are not identical
we are.
in the least bit.
Technically,
No.
like biologically, yeah, we are. We're identical twins. But
Shit, I'm about to say shit.
Right.
no. You get older, and sometimes in our lives, one of us is living life a little bit harder than the other one, and so I don't know. Jared's a little bit taller, like ever so slightly taller than I am, but my face is thinner. I just don't think we do. I just don't think we look all that much alike.
It's baby pictures up until the age of 3. Well, first of all, there weren't a lot of baby pictures. We have an older sister, and our parents were like, "Yeah, we didn't have time to pick a camera and take a picture. There's 2 of you guys running around, and we have another one over here. Wasn't nobody taking pictures, but up until about 3 years old, it's difficult for me to tell a difference in baby pictures. But after 3, it's super easy. We're brothers and we're twins, but it's very easy to tell us apart.
When I was writing my post today to promo this, that's all I was thinking about. That's all. I was like, give him a high five.
As you should have.
Yeah.
Well played.
Go down the sinkhole.
Well played.
Hilarious.
Well, I would just say that first and foremost, I absolutely love both of you guys. But
Love you back.
Outside of like my love for you guys, I'll have an extreme admiration for the work that you all do musically. Like, absolutely 2 of my favorites from indie. Like, if I could think of anybody Like when people mention music to me about indie, you two are the first two, because I actually have Jared's album, one of the albums, signed, sealed, and delivered to me. That was one of my favorite things during the pandemic. That I got that signed, sealed, and delivered to me, and it made my heart happy. And the way that you guys give back to the community, like that's also why you guys like stick out to me when it comes to music and talking about people from indie that do music. Now, most of the time people will actually think about, or the common factor that people will go to is the common music, hip hop, R&B, that kind of thing. And I'm like, because they're my favorites. Listen, Affirmations stays in rotation, okay? It's literally one of my alarms, okay? It's one of my alarms on my phone. So this is how much like you guys circulate through and all that kind of stuff. But can you all tell us a little bit how you all got into music?
Yeah. I started very, very early. We have an older sister and, admire her so much. And whenever she does something really well, you want to do it too. And so I think all three of us started piano when we were about 5. We used to watch old school cartoons on Saturday morning, like Woody Woodpecker and Mighty Mouse and Bugs Bunny and Tom and Jerry. And yeah, all that stuff was just really, really fun to listen to. And I was kind of clued into the music, and it kind of started there. So about 2 or 3. We just started taking lessons at 5, and we just really liked it and just kind of took to it. And literally from 5 years old up until present, it's been a lifetime of lessons and auditions and competitions and gigs. And it's a lifestyle. Some kids grow up being trained to be basketball players or mathematicians or, what have you. And we started as our parents say it's a life sentence. So we got clinked up in music at age 5. And so, yeah.
Yeah. We were learning to read music at the same time that we were learning to read words and books, so we were bilingual growing up. It was just a different form of a different language. So it's just something that all three of us just had and was just what we were doing. And our parents encouraged and understood when their kids took a shining to something. And once we were in it and they were paying money, they were not letting us out. So we did, it's expensive, man. Like our parents probably spent $1 million on all 3 of their kids just on music lessons and instruments and stuff. They could have spent that on vacations. They could have spent that on anything, And so that's just the way that we came up, and it's just something that's always just been intrinsically part of our bodies, and I think that's the best part about growing up.
Are your parents musicians too?
No, our parents were, they're retired now, and grateful that they're still around because they're amazing, amazing people. But our dad was a machinist for General Motors at Allison's Transmission, just out in close to Speedway. And mom was a surgical technician at St. Vincent's Hospital up at 86. But this was back in the time where, we're early 80s kids. So this is like the last era where you can have 2 blue collar salaries, and still support unions. And you can buy a house, you can have multiple kids and all that type of stuff. So we were growing up in that. Our father used to collect sports cars, like old school sports cars and all that. I remember that vividly as a real little kid. And then I remember them disappearing. I'm like, what happened to the cars? He's like, I had kids. And I'm thinking, screw the kids. Like, keep the kids. Cars don't talk back. You ain't got to feed them as much. Like, what are you're messing up, man? But that's just, that's part of good parenting. You make the investment and the sacrifice in things that are outside of yourself. So that's kind of a big part of what we do with our community service work and just who we are. You have to invest in other people as well. So yeah.
And that, the investment's not always transactional. You're not going to get a return the moment that you put into it. It's watering, it's fertilizing.
Absolutely.
And we've always tried to have that in mind with everything that we do, not only in our music, but just living as a human being, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible to do that every single day, every moment, right? But the awareness and mindfulness of that is just something that was instilled in us, and music definitely brought discipline of that mindfulness, you know. So we were very fortunate growing up in that regard.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, okay, don't make it seem like this is like a super special. This is beer number 4, okay? Let's
Oh, listen, we already had that conversation.
Right.
I'm mad that this is just water, honestly. Usually it's a bottle of
We
water.
already had that conversation.
Yeah. We just dropped gems in between sips, you know.
I am not mad at you.
Hey,
Water.
listen, we already talked about
Yes.
you know, this the time of the day where people be winding down. Like
Listen.
that's why we have to bring so much energy. We gotta bring so much energy sometimes, because
This is just part of
everybody
the
be on
wind
here
down,
like-
though. We're not changing up what we usually do. This is just part of the wind up. So
part
if
of
you
the
see
one.
me,
Mhm.
you see me duck off, mind your business. I'll be back.
I'd be like, Karen is Karen.
Mind your
Listen,
business.
I'm like,
Through this screen, okay?
I'm gonna be like old dude from the Wiz. Slide slow
For
to
real.
me. Listen, slide me some.
I'm
But
sorry, go ahead.
go ahead, Genesis. Go
No, I
ahead, baby.
just really like whenever I talk to artists, I just want to know like what is one of your most amazing experiences as musicians? Like what sticks out to you the most?
From a performance or from a spectator position?
Either or
Right
both.
on.
Honestly, I
both.
would love both.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, there's 2 moments. Like one happened early. I was a junior in high school, and the late Dr. David Baker from Indianapolis, a legend, Indiana Avenue,
Mhm.
trombonist at first, got in a bad car accident, and then played jazz cello.
Mhm.
And it's literally the reason why the IU School of Music Jazz Studies program is internationally known.
Mm.
He was one of our judges in high school in the high school jazz band, and I had a feature for that. And he was just so complimentary and so nice and so embracing of a younger person embracing the music that he helped forage.
Okay.
So that was at 15,
Mm.
16. And then, oh man. I think witnessing, I don't know, there's certain concerts that just kind of pop out, like playing at the Hilbert Circle Theater, recording a commercial recently. You know, there's little milestones that happen that no one knows that it's happening, but you know that that's happening, that most people don't get that opportunity to have.
Yep.
Short answer. Go ahead, Josh.
I mean, I would say it is hitting those milestones for me. It's, you know, the first time that you play at the Circle Theater. We all play multiple instruments. So I picked up trumpet at age 10. And so it's a classical trumpet player. And being able to, you know, I'm 14, 15, 16 years old playing at the Hilbert Circle Theater, you know, and that's kind of cool. And then as a concert pianist, playing at the Palladium, and then getting calls to literally go around the country and play in performance halls there and just other stuff. So there is no one. It's just that ratcheting up. You're like, okay, I'm on the right track and I'm still doing it. Because the reality is the way that we were raised, we were really good at a young age. But our parents just had the spirit of humility. And our dad would always say, you know, no matter how good you are, there's always someone or someones who are as good or better than you. So just keep it pushing. And so it's great. So you hit that stage and you kill it, and then you step off of it, and the next day you still have to go back to work. You still have to at least maintain that standard or raise it. And so some of those moments are a little bit of a, I want to say an up and down, but I personally really try to catch myself when I'm feeling really, really high. I'm like, rein that in. Like, pat myself on the back for a hot minute, but like, let's make sure that ego fits in the doorway because someone's going to come around and whoop your ass. And so that's just how you have to do it. And then as a spectator, I think it's probably one of my most memorable ones. This had to be back in the mid 90s, Indie Jazz Fest. The headliners were Ray Charles and Aretha Franklin.
Ooh.
And I just remember being like, and this was like healthy Aretha, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she comes in with this big old dress looking like a parachute. It was fabulous, but it was just, you could see her all the way back. Even at that age and at that time, just realizing like, I'm never going to see these two perform together again, and just really being struck by the fact that you're privileged enough to witness it, that they're in Indianapolis, and it was it was incredible. But
that's dope.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
First of all,
she said,
I see you, boo.
this dress. What color was it? Now I need more details about this dress.
When I tell you, do you ever you all remember when they do the hot air balloon race by the fairgrounds? It was a dress. It was a colorful dress. It's healthy Aretha. I love Aretha regardless. But one stripe was yellow and blue and red all down.
Oh,
right?
so she looked like an air balloon. Hot air balloon.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a huge stage, and you could see her from all the way to the back to the front. And it was Aretha. Like, I'm not knocking it. She was getting her money anyway. And
Wait a minute. And it was Aretha. It was classic Aretha on the front of the stage and classic Aretha in the back of the stage, because no kidding, she had her money delivered in a paper bag, because I know the person's father gave it to her. It was in a paper
She
bag.
said, "Don't play with me. Don't play with me.
Run me my
coins."
I bet you she had somebody count it. Somebody had to count it after that too. It's like, take it out the bag.
Well, she got done counting it. You already know how.
Right, take it out the bag. I'm about to count it right in front of you. So if it's missing anything,
I'm finna slap you.
You're gonna pull something from under that dress. I swear.
Listen, she was gonna be ruffling for a little while, but
it was
was
an
gonna
epic
pull
show.
something from after that.
Epic show, epic dress. I mean, all things were 10 out of 10. So
yeah, I actually that same year, because Indie Jazz Fest used to invite the high school, like the top high school jazz bands, and they played, and you couldn't get in if you were under 21, right? But if you were playing in that high school band, then you could go. So at 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, you could be watching professionals do what you have an interest in, right? I saw Cassandra Wilson. She shook my hand. She walked on stage in a blue dress, sequins dress, with smoking a beanie, and she just grabbed my hand, and I was just like, I love you. It was insane. I saw Nicholas Payton that same year, and then it culminated with Aretha Franklin and Ray Charles. It was insane. It was nuts. And you're 16, 17 years old. Of course, you're like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Absolutely. Like, I don't want to do anything.
And then we start doing it, and now we're like,
this is some bullshit. Ain't nobody
like, was I serious?
I want to really be doing this.
Wait.
It's like, hold on now.
It's the faces.
Someday.
Listen, y'all are absolutely fucking hilarious. Okay,
Jared's a crazy.
I would like to say,
Jared's crazy.
I thoroughly fucking enjoy coming across y'all shit on Facebook consistently. Like anytime I see it, and especially when it got something to do with the community. Like when it got something to do with the community and it be pissing y'all off, I be like, yes, let me go get some tea. Let me go get my cup, because they know what's going on. I don't, and they finna give it to me the black way. Like, I don't want to go read it in the newspaper, because the newspaper gonna skip some shit. They gonna give it to me, pour the tea in my cup. It's gonna be hot and squeeze a little lemon and honey in it. So I don't have to do nothing. It's gonna give me everything that I need. And I love that, because some of us don't actually see the shit until after the fact, or if it has something to do with artists or anything like that. I love that if it's something that's booming or being talked about in indie, one of y'all gonna get a tea. I love it. One of y'all gonna get a tea. One of y'all gonna talk about it. And then not only are y'all gonna talk about it, y'all gonna have something comical to add. Y'all gonna tell it in your own way. And that's the other part that I love about it. If y'all not friends with them, don't go add them, because I'm not sharing them. I'm just telling y'all what I get to witness and what I get to see.
Wait a minute now.
Because y'all can't go add them. No.
Don't tell me what to do. I need new friends.
I said I need
the tea too. Sure.
You tell me all the time I need new friends.
Nah, I'ma just share it.
See, you messed up, because now I'm gonna go hunt them out. I'm gonna be like, you can't tell us what to do. I can be friends with who I want to.
Exactly.
Nah.
Well,
y'all can't go add them.
Instagram.
I got to keep some people for myself. No, I'm just kidding. Y'all go add them. They are hilarious. I absolutely love them especially, like I said, I don't even know how long ago. Like, I've been in indie for almost 9 years.
Okay.
So I think I've been here for a minute. I think I met Joshua first, then I met Jared.
Mm-hmm.
I think I met Joshua first.
You think you did?
No, I'm pretty sure I met Joshua first, and then I met Jared.
Yeah.
Because I did a fashion show with Joshua, which was what we call the show. What does Ramita call it?
Oh man,
she calls it.
It was Clothing Classics, I think is what it was.
Clothing Classics, and she calls it the show that nobody got to witness.
Show that no one went to.
Yes, the best show that no one got to see. It was absolutely freaking amazing. The clothing, the music, the dance, the performances, like everything about this show was amazing. And it was like, it was a small crowd. And it was like, damn, like nobody got to see this. Like, y'all didn't get to witness this. That's fact, because I did. I saw it. I was there. And it was an amazing show. It was Clothing Classics, and I thought that was a dope way to combine classical music with fashion and art. Even the vendors that were there were really dope. They had really dope art vendors and all that kind of stuff.
That was Randall Rosenthal when what was the space that he had up on East 65th Street? He's moved it since or expanded since, but that was all.
That feels terrible because this is where I recorded the first 3 albums.
Yeah.
Humble Creations. Humble Creations Studio.
But that was all community networking. Ramita had works that she wanted to do. I had works that I thought would pair well, and we kept it within the Black community and business. And I think that's how it's supposed to work.
I did the styling. Fun. Tony did the dancing. And Tony used to be on here. Tony used to be one of our co-hosts on here. So shout out to Tony, aka Baby Guns. That's what we used to call him on here, Baby Guns.
She's swung.
She flexed one time, like one time. Listen, I'll be like, I got them other arms, not those. I got the big arm cooking arms. Them kind of arms I got. I ain't got them. You got guns. I got stir the pot arms. I got to, make sure the macaroni and cheese good. That's make sure them greens good kind of arms. Okay?
And those arms are just as vital to the community as.
Listen, they important.
They feed people. We need that.
Yes, yes, sir. So Jared, you just talked about where you recorded your first, you said 3 albums?
Yeah.
So tell us about that. Tell us what that looks like, or like how that comes to fruition. Like, I know you have the band Premium Blends, and all of that. So tell us about Premium Blend first, but then tell us what that looks like for a jazz musician to record.
Yeah, I can tell you all of it's expensive.
I'm absolutely sure.
But no, I mean it's great. Randall Rosenthal was amazing. He had a spot, and that's what he wanted to do. He leans more towards gospel music, but he just wanted to provide rehearsal space, recording space, in the way that he knew how at the time that he knew how. And we were with him from the beginning of that journey, and he's expanded now. And literally as much as we've learned through recording processes and booking recording studios, he's learned about creating spaces to rehearse and to record, So, but no, I mean, we did 3 albums there, and then the last 2 that we did, one at the Cabaret and then one at Roundtable Recording. It's just a journey. I mean, what I do, my process with Premium Blend is, I book weekly gigs so that we can rehearse new music that I'm writing, that, Stephen Jones, our keyboardist, is writing, that Ryan Taylor, our guitarist, is writing. And so we work out for a year for a weekly gig. It's a paid rehearsal because, let's be honest, rehearsal is valuable, but just to rehearse. As you get older, it's like, man, I got kids, I got a mortgage. I'm not coming out the house necessarily unless there's some money behind it. So you book a gig every week to hone your craft. That's paying, $150 to $200 every week. That's an incentive to leave the house and shed music and build a cohesive network, right? And then you go into the studio a year and a half later, and you put the record down that you've been playing for, a year. Literally, that's the formula that's worked for me. That's
paid rehearsal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I love that idea.
I love it.
But you pick venues that you think are going to be conducive to your music. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. But you just need one to get together every single week. Like when people ask, "Oh, how often do you rehearse?" I mean, we really don't. But you can find us every week here. The tunes evolve over a year. One tune that I've written is going to evolve and change because everyone's putting input into it. It develops its sound. It's a paid rehearsal. That's how you have to do stuff these days. We always see hip hop artists kind of arguing about this and that, or R&B artists arguing about this and that, and even jazz artists too. The incentive is not in the music. The incentive is to pay to be interested in the music.
That's crazy.
That's how that works.
It's crazy.
I like how this man thinks.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, because just think about, that's part of the reason why a lot of artists don't really get far, because they're always bitching or complaining. Oh, we gotta rehearse. Like, I've heard it on like so many occasions where they like griping because they gotta go rehearse, but because most people don't do paid rehearsal. But if you going to perform somewhere and you're getting paid and that's considered your rehearsal, like, yeah, I'm coming outside. I need that little cash. That's gonna tap me over to payday.
And it's also more than that. It's just these musicians, whatever genre you're in, they love that music. They really do. Mm-hmm. But let's be honest, as we become adults, it takes a lot to get y'all out of the house. It has to be worth something to you. Like, you have to put value in every facet of this industry to the other people, to get them to buy into your vision, that share the same vision. You have to give them a carrot. They love the music. That's not the question. But like, hey, I got 2 kids and yada, yada, yada. I have 2 jobs. You have to give a reason to come out there so that they can also feel like they're able to express this music the way that they want to. And it's worth not only their talent, but it's worth their time. Time is money,
Man.
So do you need somebody else? Because I play spoons.
Come on with the spoons.
All right.
He heard paid
Somebody get
rehearsal.
him.
Was like, let me get my silverware.
We doing paid rehearsals. I got some spoons back here. All right,
Somebody
I
get
will
him.
tear it up.
Somebody get this
You need
man.
me. I don't even need a solo. I don't need a solo, no nothing. Just let me in.
Just let me
Bruh.
That's it. Just let me work.
God.
Right.
I ain't
What
mad.
kind of spoons is these? Because we ain't talking about sports. They better not be no sports.
I mean, that can make a double
No,
sound.
see,
Like that's a double
You asking
instrument right
way
there.
too many questions about my
You
instrument.
got the clank clank,
That's
and you
me
got
and-
the.
That's me and my instrument.
Obviously, I'm not good with sound effects, but
You ain't asked about the trumpet. You ain't asked about nothing else, but you want to talk about my spoon.
Yeah, because I need to know what kind of spoons they are. I've heard them play. I ain't never heard you play these goddamn spoons.
Okay, let me ask.
So I
let me
got
ask,
questions.
let me ask, are they teaspoons or tablespoons? Because that's a big difference.
Right.
man.
They
Tablespoon. They
see,
tablespoon.
it's different.
you should have said
No.
both. Make yourself. You gotta make yourself
Indispensable.
versatile.
No.
He is a band director. I got to answer to him. Okay, I want to answer you, Leo. All right. I'm trying to get
Are
paid.
they sports? I just want to know, do you got sports?
Come to the
Because I
paid
feel like
rehearsal,
you're
you'll
gonna pull
find
a
out.
hustle man.
You said come
I
to the
feel
table.
like you're gonna pull a hustle man move and put a kazoo on a saxophone and try to pick up the pieces.
Come to the paid rehearsal.
But
You will see.
this man gonna be out there. He got
It might.
Jared.
It
Don't
might
let him
be-
waste y'all goddamn time. Showing up with these goddamn plastic spoons. He gonna come in there with some serving spoons with a hole in it. It's not even gonna sound the same, George. Pablo.
Hey.
Pablo.
It's the acoustics of the room. Okay, you don't know. See, I'm a professional at this. All right. Okay, I've been doing this. Sometimes
What you been doing? Lying? You been lying this whole time. I've been talking about I've been doing this. Whatever.
The whole
Been
time.
doing
Talking about my
what?
spoons. That's crazy.
Yes, I'm talking about your spoons. So, guys, Jared, I hate to ask this, but I'm gonna ask anyway. What's your favorite album of the ones you've put out?
Ooh. Yeah, can't answer that.
First of all, Jared doesn't like anything that he puts out. So if it's a year removed after the album, he's like, "Oh, it's trash. That's so immature. I don't like it." I'm like,
That's me.
What?
That's me.
right, which I get. You're not gonna get Jared to, because no.
Because now.
So the question is, Leo, what's your favorite?
My favorite one, it's between The Road, which is what, your second or third album? Second. The Road is just really solid, super solid, like tons of backbeats. If you like a little bit of New Jack City with a little bit of, I don't know, it's just good. It's a wonderful, if you can encapsulate modern jazz for the 2010s, you know, right around there it works. And then the last one I like that he just did, Virtue. I really like, maybe because it's newer, but he's got a Prince cover on there that just every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, that's my shit, and I love it.
Oh no! Okay.
Love me some Prince. That's what's up.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's it.
But Jared, he's not going to give you one.
No, honestly, if I were to give one, it probably would be The Road, the second album. But I don't listen a whole lot to our projects after they come out because you've been listening to them for a year.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Tired
Because you
of it.
already there. You didn't wore it in. You know.
Yeah.
So now you don't really want to hear it no more. I got you.
I sing every solo from any person at any point in that record, and I'm like, yeah, I need a break. I just, but The Road, I'd say probably The Road, maybe.
Okay.
Then 38th and Postmodernism, just because the documentary attached to it is dope.
Okay, come
Somebody at y'all door.
Right.
No,
Somebody at your door. You know, black people be knowing some sounds.
At least
Okay.
it's not the fire detector. Fire.
That part. At least fire alarm. The
Like,
fire,
the church, the little
smoke
church.
detector.
yeah,
The
Mhm.
church.
smoke detector. Like we ignored that.
We-
Somebody should make
Listen,
a song
it
off
becomes a
that.
part of the background.
No, for
Yeah.
real. It's a shame.
This is their new project, Virtue. Premium blend. This is their new project.
For
I love this. The visual.
real.
I can't wait to listen. This is gonna be my nighttime music. I'm finna do some work after the show. I'm finna play it.
Love that.
But my favorite is Vices.
Nice. Right on.
My favorite is Vices. It's so many, and I think Vices is my favorite simply because of the time frame in which I listened to it, and it became something that was like my go-to for like, okay, let me wind down, let me lay down, let me chill out. And like I said, Affirmations is one that is consistent. Okay. I mean, fucking consistent. It's literally,
You say we are
every
repeat today.
year. Yes. No lie. Like, it is one of the ones that if I'm driving somewhere or I need to like get my thoughts clear and in my like rotating in my head, it's one of my top 3 that I
Good.
play.
Good.
The other one is Boa by Sam Gendel, and then Twins by Christian. What's his name? I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I know it when I look at it. I be like, yeah, play that one.
Christian
Hold
Scott.
on, I'm finna tell you. Hold on.
Mhm.
Hold
Caught
on.
you lacking. Caught you lacking.
You
She's like, let me pull up my
did.
Spotify.
Listen. Yeah, Christian Scott Atunde.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
him.
bad, man.
Yes.
He's bad.
Listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard him on The Photograph.
What? There you go.
Was it The Photograph?
Listen, that
I
entire
think it was the
soundtrack.
Photograph soundtrack.
That
And
entire soundtrack. Baby.
listen,
I don't even really like the movie. I was in the theater like this music. Every song that came on, I was like, this song. It's like forget the movie.
Robert Glasper is one of the like he curated the music for that
Yeah.
movie. So it's a lot of like his
That would make sense.
touch on that. But that song right there, that's the one that I'm driving and I'm trying to get there and I gotta put the gas down. But I don't need no hip hop. I just need to get into the flow. That Twins is what I play. But if I'm trying to get into my head and I'm just cruising, Affirmations or Boa by Sam Gendel. They're my 3 right there. They're my top 3 that it's like, okay, that helped me tap in. So thank you.
That's what's up. Thank you. Thank you.
Because if y'all don't know, go listen. Okay? Go tune
Thank
in.
you.
Go and get your life together. Go and tune
Well, yeah,
in.
I just followed them on Tidal. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where else can we find the music though? Like
They on Tidal. Mm-hmm.
They on
Yeah.
Apple Music,
Oh, I'm sorry. You too good for
YouTube.
Tidal.
They got a YouTube. Go
I'm
check
too good for
YouTube.
Apple. Okay. Mm-mm.
Excuse me.
Too
I mean,
good
I
for
had Apple when I had an Android. So
Oh, yo.
either
I
way,
need, I need some Droid.
Google Music don't exist no more. So
I need some Droid.
Do
Options.
me a
I
favor.
can't help you.
Some
Spotify,
Morse code.
I guess.
That's all you gonna get out of a droid.
I'm gonna be right back. I have to do a station break and a refill. You feel me?
Okay, do your thing, baby.
Oh, because I will. I will.
Y'all too much.
And
man.
let me put the Premium Blend YouTube channel in the comments. So make sure you check them out. And Joshua, why you here?
Yeah.
Tell
Why?
us about this title. Tell us about this title. You're a classical pianist, and you're also a music sociologist. Tell us what that is, because us niggas don't know. So
It's-
tell us what a music.
Especially this
So
nigga
I
right
guess
here.
the simple part would be, I guess it's fancy word for being a giant music nerd, but I would say my working like definition of it is it's using classical music, whether it be the histories and the biographies of these folks or the compositions themselves, as a way to interpret and analyze current, previous, in historical social movements, global stories, migrations of people's artistic, periods in time. I choose to use all of my repertoire is just exclusively of composers of African descent. So, yes, African Americans, but the entire diaspora. So, West Africa, South Africa, a lot of the French West Indies, Central and South America, because that was a huge, and so it's tracing that. Right on, man. Yeah, exactly. And really into the history behind it, because the music I find like it's like a musical blueprint and a soundtrack to the part of world history that they intentionally leave out. Not just in your history books, but also on stage and in classical music and all that type of stuff. So that's just it's my thing. I actually don't have a music degree. I went to college for trumpet performance, and just the School of Music wasn't for me. So I was there for a couple of years and I left. And so my degree is actually in sociology. So I've just combined what my academic credentials are with, a lifelong passion and just skill and ability, and mash them up together. So just using music to tell a more comprehensive and accurate story of, the world, us, that type of thing. And sometimes, I'm not as a person, but every now and then I like to be a little bit bougie. And so I'm just like, that's my bougie shit. But usually it's just like, I'm a music nerd, man. That's what I do. So, but I'm a music nerd for Black folks. That's where I'm at. But
that's the part that counts.
Yeah, there you go. So
there's a lot that we do.
There is the title. That's
I like it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I love us because we be creative as hell.
Okay,
well, we be creative as hell when it comes to some shit.
Created the term. I mean, that term doesn't really. You'll hear a lot of what they call ethnomusicology, which kind of pisses me off because that's always anything other than Europeans. And if you're looking at the world, the majority of composers are not European, right? There's more Black and brown folks than. So everything we do, something that's always an ethnic thing. I'm like, it's music, but whatever. So I don't really like that. I kind of like to dismantle that type of thing and be like, no, it's a sociological perspective of Black music. The ethnic is implied. That's like, no shit. Of course, that's what we're talking about. The social movements, the other stuff, that's what's really important. So that's why I'm really very intentional about it. And, it's not something that's taught in your schools. That's from K through 12, and even undergrad and graduate. Very, very few places have courses for this where it's an actual discipline and degree. It might be a music appreciation class, but it's like, then they wonder, how come we can't get Black musicians in orchestras? I'm like, because you know why. It's like, come on, man, you know why.
Girl.
Right. Don't do me. I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb. So that's really my big mission. That's my cause. Because growing up, I love the music. Classical music has always been my favorite. We were growing up on, Queen Latifah and Biggie and the Fugees and all that. That's the era that we were coming from. But for me, classical music was always my absolute favorite. And never heard anybody who was Black, never saw anybody. You're in an orchestra with 80 to 90 kids, and there might be 4 of you. And then I was just kind of looking around. I was like, there's no way that Black people don't write classical music or haven't. And as an adult, did my own research, and I'm like, I was right. There is no way because there's a bunch of us. So yeah, so that's why I do what I do, man. That's kind of my thing. That's definitely my thing.
That's dope.
Classical became my favorite when I was a preschool teacher.
Why?
Hell yeah. Listen, I mean, in the morning, but we also used to play it in the morning to keep the calm in the room. But then, at nap time, it helped with everything. But in the midst of that, it became my favorite because, I didn't recognize how much, classical music was real different and the tone and all of that kind of stuff. And I never paid attention to it. I never paid attention to classical music in that way until I became a preschool teacher. First of all, because I knew Music tames the savage beast. And kids be beastie in the morning and in the afternoon after they done had snack, all that kind of stuff. So the music actually maintain, you know, the room and maintain the calm. And so I would listen to it and be like, oh shit, this maintaining my calm too. Like,
It's good for studying.
it's
Good for
maintaining my
studying
calm.
and
It's helping
working.
me to get some work done.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, just listening to it over a period of time. Like, I didn't know it was a whole bunch of Black classical musicians until Joshua. I didn't know that until Joshua. And some of the conversations we've had talking about the different classical. And I was like, wait, Black people?
Yeah.
Okay.
We everywhere.
Yeah,
And that's it. It's not necessary to make people for it to be their absolute favorite. But, you know, growing up, we would get a lot of that, oh, you're learning classical music, you're trying to be white, you're trying to, you know, and that's not necessarily the case. Like our own people in our own culture are really unaware sometimes of what is actually the rule and not the exception. I happen to be probably the only one here in the city who exclusively programs, but being a Black person who can play classical music, that's not exceptional by itself. Like there's a lot of people who do that, who do it as well and way better than I do. But you know, it's an industry that brings in about $2.1 billion a year, and Black composers and musicians make up less than 2.5% of that industry. So not only is the gap in representation huge, that also means the like audition processes we go through, they're like blind auditions, sometimes they're not. The repertoire that you're auditioning on, it's not written by Black folks. And so how can you expect to change the landscape of a genre when you're literally not putting it in the source material that you need to learn to become a professional? Right. So there are people all around the world, the United States, who I've gotten to learn and learn from and work with, and we talk to, where it's not my job to solve the problem by myself. My job is to be one of the many, and you wake up every day and you do what you can, as long as you're able to do it, and you bring as many people along with you as you possibly can.
I'd love to see an orchestra filled with us.
There is one. It's called the Gateways. Gateway Symphony. I think it was in 2021. They were the first all-Black orchestra to play at Carnegie Hall, and they are tremendous. They are tremendous.
Gateway Symphony. Okay.
There's another group. It's a quintet that I really love. The person who leads it, her name is Dr. Valerie Coleman. She's an amazing composer and flautist, and they're called the Amani Winds, and it is a all-Black quintet that does Black classical music, just all classical music. They're fantastic. So it's not hard to find the flies in the buttermilk in classical. We all kind of know each other and know
not the flies in the buttermilk.
No, you find the Black kids on the piano.
But it creates this. Yeah, it creates this really awesome and accessible, like, international network of Black classical musicians. They're out there. They're regular people. They're super nice. They're incredibly accomplished, and they're looking to do the same thing. So it's kind of nice sometimes to have our own network because we work a little bit differently than other folks, and I think that's totally fine. So awesome. Yeah. So they out there. They out there.
So you said 1.2 billion.
2.1 billion.
Oh, 2.1.
Right, so it's even worse.
It's even more spoons.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of money. It makes a lot of money, and you know, we're definitely missing out on a huge economic center. And it's not doing classical music any favors. Most people think it's boring as all get out, but there's some stuff, especially from my repertoire. I love working with people in different genres, whether it's in punk or in funk or in hip hop, because you don't have to play the entire concerto, but I'm like, yo, these 16 bars, loop this and throw your stuff over. Like, it just, you're pulling from something old to make it new again, and then you're adding some type of legacy and musical history to what you all are creating now. So it should be a really easy, you know, conversation and relationship between the two. So
that's so dope.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
When I'm at work and I get real bored, like because I just sit in the classroom all day. I literally put on it's called classic trap. So they'll take like Pop Smoke and they'll throw like Beethoven on it, and literally for like a half an hour, 45 minutes, I just lose myself in it. Like, I was like,
you know, this city has its own.
Do that would like pique my interest.
Yeah, this city has a trap orchestra. There's a lady, she works with she's a conductor of the Metropolitan Youth Orchestra, which is like the youth orchestra for the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra. Her name is Crystal Ford, incredible composer, arranger, violist. And she started a trap orchestra. I think they played a garden party, if not this year, the past year. But folks are doing that. You just have to know where your little pockets are, you know, here and there, because by and large, we're not supported like the broader white communities in the arts. We're not.
Right. And just understand that, like, even if you don't, like with classical music or opera, if it's something that you couldn't sit through 2 hours of, it's like no one's asking you to do that. Listen to 2 minutes of it. And if you're an artist that's a hip hop artist, listen to 2 minutes and chop those 2 minutes up in as many different variations as you can. That's a hit. You know what I mean? Like, everyone wants strings on a track, you know, because it sounds good. That's all you have to do. Do some research and do the sample. That's it. Yeah. And classical music is 300, 400 years old. So, like, it's, you don't have to pay anybody for it.
One of the shoes for him, like a whole lot.
Yeah, Genesis been twerking to Cash Money Millionaires. That's violins. When the violins come on,
I twerk to everything. Okay,
when the violins come on, though,
my selection, sir.
When those violins come on, though, what happened to you?
I go sit down.
Yeah, okay.
I can only twerk for so long, okay?
I got a cramp, okay?
Exactly. I have to spread it out. I got to do it in moderation. You understand?
Until the violence.
That's my business. First of all, Pablo. Okay. Shoot.
Gang.
We can dance today.
What do you guys listen for in music that grabs you? Like, what is it about music? Dumb question. What is it about music that grabs you? Music grabs everybody, but like your aesthetic, you guys' individual aesthetics. What is it that you're listening for, or looking for, or would be open to accentuate what you already gravitate towards?
That's a good question. See, I gravitate to neo soul, and I feel like neo soul really speaks to me because of the familiarity of it all and the relatability of it all as well. But I really love jazz as well. I think jazz is such a slept on genre because it's one of the sexiest genres ever. Like, I will sit and listen to jazz and can literally hear, depending on the song, hear the love making, hear the intimacy within the chorus and just the music. So I don't know. Some things just relax me and put me in a focused, creative stage, and that's how neo soul is. Like, Jill Scott is my ultimate favorite artist, and whenever I see her perform, I feel like my creative juices just flowing, and now I'm ready to go write some spoken word.
Go ahead.
You said what?
I said or other juices, but go ahead.
No, not Jill. I mean.
Is it not Jill?
I'm waiting. You right. Whatever. But I feel like I mean, because I forgot who I was talking about. This the microphone.
That's what I'm like, not Jill.
So I'm like,
girl, man.
You right. No, but
listening to
really
Jill, I'll be 17%. Okay, I'll be like, Jill, girl.
Like, Jill, okay, girl.
Jill.
No,
what about you, man?
Yeah.
I love pianos. I love when hip hop use pianos in it. That for some reason it just does something. It just brings me into it more. And I have a thing for trumpets, like a triumphant, like king returning home trumpet in a song. Like, I think one of my favorite songs is Jefe by T.I.
Really?
and it comes on just with like trumpets, like you're like at a bullfight, and then trumpets come on, like so. And of course, drums. I love drums, and bass, and
drums.
all
I
that good.
wish I was stuck with my drums. I wish I
Yeah,
was
a
stuck.
good
I think I
drum.
would-
Like my son plays the drums, so I was like, "Yeah, you my kid."
Nice.
I should have stuck with the drums. I remember doing a concert when I was in elementary school, and I was supposed to be doing the drum roll. I was back there faking the hell out of that damn drum roll. I couldn't do a drum roll to save my life. I'm back there like yeah.
You was back there like,
Girl, I wasn't even hitting the damn drum. I was just moving my hands like I need to go home right now. Jesus, don't call on me, please.
Yeah.
He says, let me find out.
I didn't play any instrument. I did the normal school stuff. Like they gave us the recorder to play with, and they had me on the xylophone. That's it. So yeah, like after the xylophone, I walked away from. I wish I'd learned something though.
Funny thing about the recorder, that literally is like 90% of the fingering for a saxophone.
Shut up.
Wow. Okay.
I could play. No, I can't. I'm sorry.
She just said no. I
I
can't.
used to be
I got
able to play Mary Had
upstairs,
Little Lamb, but yeah.
I got didgeridoo upstairs, but I can't play it. It's just nice to look at.
I mean, do you guys gravitate more towards like music with lyrics or music that's just instrumental, like traditional jazz music, like classical music? Because Josh and I find we talk about this often, is that instrumental music only holds people's attention for so long because there's only so much that they can grab onto, right? So like, do you guys have to have lyrics with words the majority of the music you listen to, or are you comfortable doing more instrumental music more than lyrical music or music with lyrics?
I like instrumental more now that I'm older. When I was younger, like that was me, like learning all the words, reading the books inside the tapes. But yeah, nowadays
you just told your age. But I digress.
Hey,
I can tell nobody's age is out here.
Inside the tape. So many people watching probably like a tape. What's a tape?
Right. Yeah, I bought Wu-Tang's first album on a cassette. So yeah. But nowadays, I'd rather do instrumentals. Even when I like make content, like I put instrumentals on. I don't even put the words anymore.
Yeah.
Like, they don't try hard anymore with the words, so I just do the instrumental. Yeah.
The words take away from the whole craft of the song, I feel.
But I mean, for you, like you like Jill Scott, right? And we all grew up on Jill Scott.
It depends on my mood, actually. Like what I'm doing. Like a lot of times, if I need to concentrate, work, and study, I need instrumental. Because most of the time I probably get lost in Jill Scott or any words and be sitting there singing whole 5 hours that went by and I only did like one project and you know what I'm saying? So
that's why I can't turn on Floetry. If I turn on Floetry, you might as well leave me alone.
You hear me?
I'm gone.
Yeah. I can't even swing to like songs because I'll be sitting here having the whole concert. You can't tell me nothing. But yeah, like he said, it depends on it. Well, it depends on my mood. But as I've gotten older, I can stand instrumental way more, and it just hits a bit different when you're older than when you're younger.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think for me, I don't have to have lyrics simply because like I make up my own music in my head regularly and consistently. So instrumentals just add to my randomness and my ability to come up with bullshit or just random songs on a consistent basis. So and like my favorite instrument is actually the piano because I could play a little bit. I didn't get the full course, you know what I'm saying? I had got the beginner. So I could play the beginners and I could play the organ a little bit. because I used to be in church and we used to go up in there when we weren't supposed to be in the sanctuary playing around on organ. So I know how to play that a little bit too. But I think for me, just overall, like listening to music now, instrumentals help me to focus. And I think like the lyrics, it just depends on who the artist is. But doing everyday stuff, like even cleaning up, I don't listen to music with a lot of lyrics unless it's like old school. Like anything new, I can't listen to trying to focus on stuff. I feel like it just had me somewhere totally different, and the whole idea of what I was supposed to be doing does not happen.
At the red light, freaking on the headlight.
Yeah.
Bro, listen, I be like, first of all, I don't even listen to that now. That's something I ain't gonna listen to. We already know what I listen to. You know, I listen to old school gangster shit.
Old hand-to-hand transaction situation.
Listen, like smooth on robbery type stuff. You know, that's what I listen to when I'm like in that mode. But outside of that, like I listen to old school music, or it has to be neo soul, R&B, jazz. Like I have to stay in a certain vein of music in order to like do stuff. Like, or I'm listening to my gangster rap. That's helping me get down the highway. That's the only time I'm really listening to that. Unless I'm trying to get in that zone where I gotta hype myself up to do something else. But other than that, my music is pretty mellow. Like it's very mellow. My sister's the trap queen, not me. So any music they got, I'll be like, I'm an auntie. I'm almost auntie age, baby. I don't know nothing about that.
Last question I'm going to ask for a little while. Like, so.
I love this. We're being interviewed. I like this.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
So, like, you found, like, you know about us, or others are, like, coming to know about us. So what is it that artists like me and Joshua, what is it that we do that we should do to ingratiate ourselves to your ears, not just talking, you know what I mean? Like if you never knew any of us, what is it that you're looking for in music that maybe we do or maybe we don't, that maybe we could improve on, or maybe that we could give you more of what we do? What is it that you're looking for in an artist that you may know a little bit about or nothing about, but you've gravitated to it? So what is it that we do that you would pump us up,
I think for me, what I do love, like when I have listened to the both of you, like listening to Premium Blend, you guys use such a variety of the way you put the instruments together. Like it's not, sometimes some people use the same cadence, or, they use the same way that they put the music together. Like I listen to Soap. Some of our parts. I listened to that. And I actually put one of the songs on our Instagram because it caught my ear. It was just random. I didn't even go looking for the song. Like it literally was like, hey, it literally called out to me, and I was like, oh, okay then. So I listened to it, and it was different. And it actually reminded me of when they used to play music on the cartoons. What was the cartoon? Because they, back in the day on like the Tom and Jerry, or even like Woody Woodpecker, like you were talking about earlier, they used to have the music in the background. And it kind of reminded me of the lullaby type of songs. And I was like, oh, I like this. It is, what's this song? Now I'm butcher the shit out of this, okay?
I already
okay.
Raison d'etre.
Yes, raison d'etre. Yes. I took a little French. I don't know if I'm gonna say that right, but yes, that song. I was like, oh, it took me down memory lane, and I don't know why. I still don't know why, but it had me in a memorable place. So I think if artists think about the things that made them happy to become artists, or the things that made them happy as kids, and put that nostalgia into their music, like for me, I'm gonna just say for me, triggering those things that made us happy when we were free and we had no care in the world, I would listen to that shit all the time simply because of the place that it takes me to mentally. A lot of adults are afraid to escape, and they escape through other ways, through drugs, alcohol, all that other kind of stuff. Let me escape through music, and I ain't fucking up my body. So I would love music that would take me to those places, or even the little Tom and Jerry music in the background, but you done added your own little spin to it and that kind of thing. I love nostalgia. I love being able to go down memory lane. Like today, I went down memory lane because somebody gave me a Words Original out of their purse. And I was like, oh my fucking God. Like,
Was it Josh?
yes,
Oh,
thank
you
you.
been in
He
the
always
purse?
has old candy on there. Was it Josh?
I was like, that might be a 5-year-old piece of candy. You might want to leave that alone.
I don't fucking care. I ate it and it was amazing. And it took me down memory lane because that was my mama's favorite candy. And we used to always steal them out of her purse. So today it was just like, those things that take me to good memories and make me smile and make me remember certain parts of my life when I was younger. Those are the kind of things I would love to hear in music.
What about you guys? Like for an artist that I don't know how much you guys know our body of work or whatever. What is it about that would intrigue you guys to be like, all right, let me hear what these guys do or people like them do?
Hey, Bebop.
I'll be honest, I'm not familiar. However, the whole concept of you guys integrating the community within your teachings, within like all of that intrigues me to want to look you up. And because I'm big on community, but outside of that, I like the twist that we were just talking about, like how they do the hip hoperas or how they'll add something new with something old. Like those are the things that I gravitate to in a sense. But I just like jazz, so shit, I'll check you out anyway.
Yeah,
And now
I
that I
just
know
need somebody
that
to say, listen, that's it.
you're
Just tell somebody, tell me,
teaching,
listen, I'm there. So,
right? Like for real, like, and then the fact that you're trying to educate people regarding classical musicians within our culture, that's amazing to me because it's something that I really don't know anything about. Like you just put me onto a whole orchestra, and that's something that I am interested in. I want to see more representation of us, and we lack knowledge on a lot of things. And even when we were talking about earlier about the researching and tweaking one thing to grab something else, we don't want to do that research. We barely want to pick up a book sometimes. So it's just the whole knowledge of it and knowing that we are out there and we are represented properly is awesome to me. And thank y'all for your contribution to that part, honestly.
I have to give a lot of, I really do feel obligated, it's not, but I feel such a strong responsibility and accountability to our Indianapolis Black community, because I didn't really start doing the performance part stuff again probably maybe about 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm like, oh, people aren't going to like this because it's classical music and nobody likes it. And then, you go to get your first one done, and the reaction was so nice. That's who really was going to my shows. That's the reason why I was able to have a body of work and really kind of be in the crosshairs, I guess, of the city and just the region and the nation. It was our people who were coming out to see stuff. And to see the look of pride on people's faces, or even just that kind of aha moment of like, oh, I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
People might not give a shit. They don't have to.
Right.
But for that split minute, and that's it. If that's all that people really kind of do to scratch that spirit of inquiry, that's all that's required. Honestly, that's it. But it was and continues to be the Black community here in Indianapolis who's been for me, the most meaningful supporters. And that support is not always large sums of money, but it's just that respect, that understanding, and just, just the encouragement. Because it's not an easy thing to do. It really is. And you have a lot of highs, you have a lot of lows, and there's
Mhm.
what you allow people to see. And then there's what happens when you go home and you are your whole person with your own interpersonal, whatever else, and you have to figure this stuff out. So, yeah. Mhm.
That sounds like podding, don't it, Leo?
For real, okay? That's why I'm like, right. Right.
Right? I'm about to cut the camera off real quick. I'm like,
because you do. I mean, and that's the part about being a creative and being an artist. You know, like people do not really understand the behind the scenes work, the whole imposter syndrome, lurking consistently and often, and all of the other pieces that you have to figure out before you are able to put this beautiful thing out here to the world. And then even when you put it out there, you still like, oh fuck,
Like,
you know, because you're still judging yourself, and everybody like, oh, this so dope, this amazing, and you like, not really.
I know.
tweak this more.
Not really.
Yep.
Because I could have did better, I could have did more, I could have, you know, and there's the whole rhetoric that's happening in your head. So I definitely feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that to the fullest. So I was getting ready to say something, I lost my thought. I hate when that happens. Any of you guys had any questions for them? I know that Jared was asking questions.
Yeah, Jared's putting you to work on your own shit.
Listen, I love it because I'm like, well, yes, come on and ask us some questions.
Yeah,
But I love
that.
that. I love that he's inquisitive in order to become a better artist, to
Yeah.
become better and actually make the footprint, you know, fit the community. I love
It's
that.
funny. It's one of my favorite quotes, and it's probably at this point a paraphrase from Cannonball Adderley, like genius alto saxophone player. He was on the Kind of Blue album, Miles Davis's Kind of Blue album, but he also had an album with Nancy Wilson and Ella Fitzgerald. I mean, he's brilliant. And he would always say that you play 20%, you pay 80% of what the audience wants to hear, and you play 20% of what the audience needs to hear. So if an audience is not checking in with, you know, if an artist isn't checking in what the audience needs to hear, then how are we going to meet that 20%?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's good stuff. Look at y'all. I love y'all. I promise you I do. Like, I'm gonna say that so much because all during Black Music Month, like I've literally every person that we've had on here, I've handpicked for various reasons, you know. But I also wanted it to be a variety. I did not want Black Music Month to be all hip hop or rappers or lyricists and all that other kind of stuff, because I'm like, yeah, they're there and they are plentiful, but I also want our audience to be able to witness so many other aspects of what Black music looks like. And I was like, yeah, I definitely gotta have them on there because of what you guys do, because of how you present yourselves just as Black men, but then how you present yourself as artists and musicians and things like that. Like that has always stood out to me, that continues to stand out to me, and the way that you love on your people and the way that you allow people to love on you guys back definitely was like, oh yeah, I gotta have him on here and I gotta have it. Like, so I went through people and I literally like planned it out specifically for the way that I wanted the Black Music Month appreciation to go. And it's just literally people that I've admired for a period of time. And so that's why you guys are here. Like, I was so grateful that you guys said yes. Like, I was over here fangirling.
Wait a minute. So thank you, but Jared and I will be the first ones to tell you anyone else. I'm like, girl, we still ain't shit. So fine. Thank you.
I'm saying I was fangirling simply because everybody else gets to see or gets to witness your greatness, because I've witnessed it on several occasions, and I'm just like, yeah, I need other people to know about the dope shit that y'all do, because
thank you.
Y'all are dope. Y'all are amazing. And
I do have a question.
not enough people talk about Black people like in this aspect. Classical music, like you said, motherfuckers be like, "Are you trying to be white?"
Right.
Nigga, I'm not. I'm not.
Kind of what it is. Yeah.
I do have a
That's
question.
crazy.
Okay, so like you know how producers and engineers usually have a signature sound. Do you guys feel like you have a signature sound that if you're playing, people know that that's Jared, that's Joshua's music?
Well, I would say because I don't, I do little arrangements for some
Okay.
stuff, but I'm not a composer, right?
Okay.
Whereas Jared is. I would say for me, my signature is just what I do. It's all Black stuff, right? So that is very much and being very consistent with it. I think consistency at a certain level and standard kind of wins the game every single time.
Mhm.
And
What
he
I'd
doing
say
these
for me,
songs.
yeah, always. With the composers
He
that I
does it
do
his-
play, there are some that I really gravitate towards a little bit more. Or once I start playing some things, I can pretty much run through their entire repertoire because they have signatures. Like there's one composer, Florence Price. You know, she's got a symphony in E minor. She has her sonata in E minor. She loves the key of E minor. She just loves it. So, and you can pick up on their patterns and their winks and nods. She likes to throw a lot of. She mashes up like classical with hymns with a little bit of folk and blues. She does it in almost everything. So I can listen to something and be like, okay, that's this composer here. So I like to replay people's signature tunes because that helps me explain to them, this is how you know you're listening to this person here. But for Jared, it's probably a little bit different. Maybe.
Yeah, it's. I have my style of writing as a composer in the jazz tradition. I mean, I grew up from 10 years old listening to Coltrane, Miles Davis, Sonny Rollins, Sonny Stitt, Dexter Gordon. You know, I'm in that when bebop was coming around, and then it went to hard bop. You know, so we're looking at 1939-40 to 65. And then jazz changes very dramatically after the assassination of Dr. King. Leading into the 70s, we get into fusion, which is what Prince was listening to, which is what, you know, I'm always going to be that traditional jazz person. That's what I grew up on. That's the sound that I loved. Those were the people that I loved. But I'm also a person that was born in 1982, you know. In the infancy of hip hop, R&B Black is taking hold of the airwaves with confidence, right? And so you have to meld that. So with Premium Blend, do I think there's a signature sound in Indianapolis? You're trusting for that. Everyone always knows, yep, that's a Premium Blend tune.
Okay.
That's Jared playing, you know, just like my mentor, Rob Dixon. I can hear one note on a record or one note walking into a club, and I'm like, Rob's playing tonight. You know what I mean? There's just certain folks, you just know their accent. Everybody knows what you all sound like on the phone, right? Or if someone were to shout your name from the street, you'd know that sound, that name. And that's just kind of how it is. So that's a roundabout way of being like, bitch, I don't know.
Good answer.
But if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Right. So I did have some pictures of Joshua. See, he playing his socks. He playing his socks.
Yeah.
And his socks are always very colorful and on point, like always colorful.
Favorite
Sock, he is the sock Joplin.
That is me. That is me.
Hashtag Sock Joplin. It's gonna come up with his face.
I don't think I've and it is cool. And this started with Black community too. Like I haven't paid for my own pair of socks in about 4 years because I have shows and people bring them. I was in Tacoma, Washington, a year and a half ago? I think it was October before last. I was doing a residency, had a couple performances out there, and get done, and it's like about 4 or 5 pairs of socks on the stage because people brought them. I was like, this is dope.
That's dope.
I messed up
Instead of
though.
roses. Yes.
Yeah, I
instead
should
of socks.
throw a sports coat. Throw
Throw a sports coat.
I picked the cheapest thing. But it's a nice little reminder just to myself and other folks. Is just like, yeah, it's just a discipline thing that we do, but it doesn't have to be all serious. You know, there is some personality to it. It's a reminder for me. I tend to be a pretty like wound tight, somewhat serious kind of person. But sometimes I'm just like, chill out, man. It's just music. Have fun. So I've got a show tomorrow, and so I'm kind of excited. I'm just like, which pair of socks am I picking out tonight? I don't know. There's like 50 to go through. And whichever is the most obnoxious and loudly colored is
I love it.
Walking out the door.
Yes, come on, obnoxious. And I do have a picture of Jerry.
Yeah.
Getting it. Okay.
Yeah.
Getting it. Like, bruh, I envy your lungs.
He has the earrings. You see that? He has
Here it
the
is. You got it.
Earrings. It's Jerry. And Jerry played the sax. Jerry played the sax. Joshua played the piano. So if you're going somewhere,
that's how you know.
That's how you know.
Yeah.
And
it's fun. I don't know. Like you just
I'm not gonna ask Jerry. I'm gonna ask Joshua.
What's that?
Uh-oh.
Joshua, what's your favorite Premium Blend song?
It's probably on the Vices album, and it might be about 45 seconds long, but Walk Away, it's like this little outro interlude, but it's got that, I mean, it's just got a nice little bop to it, and that's when I'm sitting in my car, I'm like, yeah, you know, like instantly grow a butterfly collar, my clothes polyester and shit, and I got a gold chain out of nowhere.
Excuse me.
Right, like
exactly.
Collars.
Let's go.
It's just a quick little funky one, you know, and it's upbeat and it's a lot of fun. Jared would always, I enjoy Jared's process. He whistles through his teeth. He used to drive me nuts as a kid, and it still does. But whenever I hear him whistling through his teeth over and over, that's the beginning of Jared getting ready to sketch out a new tune. And so it's always really fascinating to hear from the whistle to the final project, just how his brain works and thinks. And he's always like, I always write really mellow ballads. And so here came Walk Away off the Vices album, and it was just this funky 70s-ish little interlude. I was like, okay, someone had some reefers and some inspiration and some blaxploitation
Listen.
in that mix, and I was happy for it.
So do you have a routine? Like, since he whistles, do you airplay? Do you?
If there's anything that I'm getting ready to learn to do, I go on what's called like listening tours. Mm-hmm. So there'll be one piece of music, and I will find as many different recordings of it with as many different arrangements as possible. So if it's solo piano, I want to hear the piano and flute. I want to hear the full orchestra, chamber orchestra. So I'll listen to a piece easily about 20, 30 times before I even open the music to look at it. And then I will go and play, because you have to know where the melody is going.
Okay.
And you just take your time, and it's sometimes you first start out, it's your practice session is 6 hours a day, and you will maybe cover 8 measures.
So
in those 6 hours. And it's just you just kind of put it back together until eventually you're able to just bang it out, and you hear those nuances. So I'm like, okay, on the solo part, but I want to play this piano as if I had a full orchestra behind me. So how do I pull that out? So that's why I'm trying to listen to as many different interpretations and textures and layers as possible. So that's in my head, and I can translate to my touch on my fingers. Yeah. It's might be on the spectrum type stuff, artists, when we do.
You're totally on the spectrum.
Hear the right stuff.
So what?
I feel like if you're not a little weird or a little crazy, I can't trust you.
No, for real.
Like, you gotta be a little.
Just like I don't trust tattoo artists that don't smoke. Like, if you don't smoke before this session, well, you cannot touch me with that. Like, seriously, some of the best tattoo artists are smokers. I'm like, you be as creative as possible. Don't even ask me. I told you the concept. You go work your magic.
Like, okay, in the clouds, and
right.
Mm-hmm. So I did find Walk Away. So I'm gonna give y'all a taste of it since y'all have not heard it.
It's
Honey,
cute.
y'all the taste of walk away. Yes.
Where my shoe at? Do I need to throw my
So you can.
Probably, I don't know. I hope so, but if you don't, I'm not gonna be offended.
Oh, let me find my shoe.
That is hilarious. You stupid.
See what I got.
Wait, there we go.
I always thought it sounded like 70s game show music, and I was like really
Listen.
proud of that.
Listen. So I'm sitting here listening to it. I'm like, I could see, you know, the scene with the guy with the big heels, the pimp with the big
Platform shoes.
heels.
Yeah.
Yes, and the platform shoes with the fish. That's all
That's
I
why he
saw.
said blaxploitation.
Wait a minute, yeah, we got the taco meat out and everything.
Yeah,
Everybody got
that's
that?
all I saw. I'm like,
Hey, brother, give me some
Like,
on the black
it-
side.
and
Yeah,
he
that's-
walking away.
that's
Like,
He just blew up some shit and it's a big cloud of fire
Yeah.
like behind him. As he's walking away.
walking just
Like, he just
smooth
saved,
and
he
slow,
just
like,
saved
yeah,
the bitch.
I did it, and
Right.
It-
He just saved the bitch because you know that's what they was gonna say back then. Bitch,
Go
I
ahead,
just
my
saved
man.
you. You know, like like that kind of thing.
that was so
it gives
dope.
me like the score for like a Spike Lee movie, like the older Spike Lee movies.
That's what's up. Yeah.
I love
That's
that.
Terrence Blanchard, another jazz musician. Terrence
Yeah.
Blanchard. Go
I
ahead.
love
Yeah, yeah.
I love that right there. That's exactly where it took me at.
That's what's up. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's a fun little bop.
You can see
It's
them
fun.
floating. The float walk.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Yeah.
If I ever make a movie,
Yeah, the
I'm
float walk.
I'm
What
gonna
they
call
used to
you.
do.
I need some of that.
That's gonna that probably would have been on She's Gotta Have It, the original one, not the
Mhm.
newer one.
Yep.
Yes,
See that?
absolutely.
While they're smoking. Yeah. I can see
Yeah.
that.
Which I gotta be honest, it's whatever. But anytime someone's like, "Man, I be rolling up to your music," I'm like, "Thank you."
For real. That's yeah.
Because it's a vibe, and you're trying to
It
get to the
really
mood, you're
is.
trying to get to a place, and if I'm able to help that by any whatever you do with that on there, like man, like cool, thanks. Like that's the whole thing. I mean, I might or might not be myself right now. So.
Yo. We'll get you
Listen.
through some times. You get me?
It definitely will. Okay. I
That's-
miss those days. Oh,
Man.
man. Shed a tear. The shit I used to create under the influence. I miss
You see, I'm not creating right now, though. I'm like, no, I'm chilling.
Right.
Listen.
Lights went out. Everything. That's so
But
So guys, I mean, do you guys have any last questions? I know y'all probably got one last question. Or do y'all guys got a question for us?
I just want to know, are y'all working on anything new?
I'm not. I just put out something new.
Yeah, they just put out something. They just put out
Listen to that.
something.
I'm relaxing.
You just put out there.
Okay.
Joshua's got the calendar. You know.
Yeah, got a couple projects coming up. I've got a podcast of my own that I do with.
I was just about to say something.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I was
Okay,
thinking
never
that.
mind.
Like, we need a podcast about this.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
So I work with she's international opera superstar Angela Brown.
Mm.
She's from Indianapolis and just amazing. She has been, you know, she was Aida at the Metropolitan Opera. She sung at the Sydney Opera House. I mean, she is literally Indy's like living legend. She's been on every major stage. But we have a podcast called Melanated Moments in Classical Music, and it is all about, you know, Black composers and musicians. So we started research already, but we start season 7. Production starts in August, and so that should come out like towards the end of September.
Mm-hmm.
I get to do Opera in the Park with the Indianapolis Opera Company in beginning of September, and I'm in residency with the Indianapolis Chamber Orchestra. So their 40th season is next year or this coming year, and so I think it's April 24th. It's an original production of mine that takes compositions from composers of African descent, working with Kenyete Dance Orchestra or Dance Company, and vocalist Ashley Baskin and Jared is on it, and it's called Black Keys. So it traces the origin of the Black aesthetic in classical music through dance, and so that is next spring. And there's a lot of moving parts, and there's the production part where you have to source the money, and then you have to rehearsals, and you're rehearsing with a 50, 60 piece orchestra and all that. So that's some of the major projects leading up until then. And then in between that, when I'm not robbing niggas, I perform so I can pay my rent. So
why are y'all?
And just for the record,
yeah, man, yeah.
For the record, I'm niggas. Okay.
No, for real. That's what it is. That's what it is.
That's hilarious.
But no, and then I got a gig
He
tomorrow.
pull up with the grocery basket, like
For real.
everything in
Give me,
here.
I got my- And then I'm playing a quick free concert tomorrow at Eskenazi Health at the main campus from noon to 1. It's with their Mayor's Bias music program. They're celebrating Black Music Month as well. So
I encourage you all to, if there's any point of reference for Joshua's work, it literally was his first kick in the ass out the gate. The first thing that he had for this music sociology and Black composers, the first thing out the gate was his TED Talk. That was the first gig he got, not playing.
What?
It was a TED Talk. Joshua's TED Talk is on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
It was Vay Savage that was the dancer, correct?
Yep.
Joshua's first big step out the gate was the TED Talk. So look up Josh. Do you remember what the title of it's called? But it's fascinating. He just has a wonderful way of ingratiating an audience to something that they didn't think that they wanted, or they thought they knew what it was, and he totally flips it on its ear. It makes everyone comfortable at the same time about embracing classical music, embracing Black people in classical music, embracing Black people. And that was his first step out of the gate. Was a fucking TED Talk.
Yeah, we have fun. We have fun. So
You guys do.
I
And
found it.
you can.
yep, that's what I was about to say. I'm about to
I'll be
play it.
watching that after this.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna play a snippet. I'm gonna play a little snippet
No
because I like playing snippet.
snippets. Yeah.
That's dope.
And that's the strange thing is I
Damn.
love public speaking, but I hate watching myself on video or TV. It's just one of those, I'm like, but it's whatever.
Like
It's
you cringe.
Shame. That's on here.
a little bit.
I
Like,
want to do a TED Talk.
I hate my voice. I hate my
goal.
voice after
They're
this.
fun. They're fun.
My
They go
goal in life is to
Megan.
do a TED
Hey
Talk.
Megan.
Bro, it's Megan. What up,
That's
Megan?
dope.
What
That's
up,
so dope.
sis?
Yeah.
I tell everybody all the time I'm gonna do a TED Talk one day. So that's
Do
just
it.
dope.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
I don't know
That's
the
on my
process.
repertoire too.
I got to figure out the process to get on there, but yeah.
That's on my list of things to do too. You gotta look for when they come to your city, I believe, or something like that. But
They do one every year here in Indianapolis.
do they now? Do they?
They were.
They do. And matter of
Yeah.
fact, yeah, we'll talk. I think I still remember the guy who's over there. So, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So welcome to community. We networking and shit, and I'm gonna give you guys this number.
And yeah, we do.
That's how we do.
And do.
It's the pipeline.
And do. Yeah. God, I get you on TED Talk.
I am gonna. I have to take my leave. I apologize. This has been absolutely wonderful.
It's
kind of a long day tomorrow. Got some family stuff that I have to deal with.
Yes.
Separate part of Joshua's family, but Nick, part of my family. We got to deal with tomorrow, and handle that. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah. Thank you for being here.
Hella dope.
Thank you for being here, showing up, like all of you sharing your dopeness with our audience. Thank you so
I
much.
just got a new follower in me. How can we reach you?
Yes.
Facebook, Instagram. So Premium Blend Indie on Facebook, Instagram, at Blend Indie on Twitter. And if you know me, then she'll give y'all my personal.
I give it to him. I give it to him, I guess. We're
around. We play.
Yes.
I've got a weekly gig at Parlor Public House in downtown Indianapolis,
They do
600
every
East Ohio.
Thursday.
Yep. So it's free and it's half price Bottle of Wine every Thursday. We play from 8 to 10. Just come through and check it out. It's a great vibe.
You speak my language. You said fine.
Yeah, I heard you're not gonna show up.
I do.
You should be perfect for stepping out the
No,
house.
man, if I do.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you're gonna have to come down so we can go. So one Thursday you can go. Pablo, I'm gonna have to miss a show on a Thursday so I can pull up at Parlor House, public Parlor House.
Or
I might miss one too.
And then air it on Thursday.
Yeah, as long as under 2 hours.
He said I'm gonna have to miss one.
Yeah, as long as under 2 hours, we can replay it.
Okay, cool. All right, fine. But thank you so much, Jared. We're gonna give everybody this clip of Joshua doing his thing on the TED Talk. And then we'll be about this thing.
Love you, Josh. You get on my nerves. Love y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye. Yes, we gonna be doing. We finna get this little clip. This clip of Joshua.
But none of us are built for prison.
It wouldn't be right to play if y'all didn't. It would.
Sure wouldn't.
It would not. Here we go. Look at you on here.
Yeah, my name is Joshua Thompson, and I played piano for about 33 years at this point. And in that period of time, I had so many opportunities to witness and be a part of and participate in some amazing concerts at some well-renowned symphony centers across the country, including here in Indianapolis at the historic Hilbert Circle Theater. But also in that time, I've received countless scores and manuscripts to learn and pore over and learn and practice and to eventually perfect and perform, written by some of the classical greats known as, Bach and Beethoven and Mozart and Chopin and Debussy and Ravel. And every time as I was growing up, I would receive a new piece of music, or I would look at an orchestra program, or I'd look to my right and look to my left at my colleagues. I always had this burning question of, where are we? And by we, I wanted to say, where are the faces and the people of African descent in this canon that we know of classical music? Because at a very young age, to me, it seemed highly unlikely and even more implausible that there would be no or very few contributions and representatives from people of African descent to this great canon of music that we rightly or wrongly ascribe and assume that there's this elevated degree of sophistication and refinement. So as I continued to study and hone my craft in middle school and then in high school and eventually made my way to college, that question still persisted because while it wasn't absolutely required for me, it was very important for me to see myself and an extension of myself on stage or on paper so I could fully actualize, realize, and be my true self. So for me, it was a question of more than just identity politics. And I thought, well, if we know the names of, Tchaikovsky and Gershwin and Schumann and Bartok, where are we in this field? So it started a couple years ago with a very simple search with our good friend Google, and it said, okay, composers of African descent, and click. What I found out was what I knew all along, that yes, it was implausible and it was impossible to think that we don't have representation, because what I saw was a vast array and a huge catalog full of the repertoire of people who look like me from African descent. But it wasn't just the music that I could tap into. I saw names, I saw faces, I had dates, I had histories, I had biographies, I had something else I could tap into beyond the music to really make this genre that I've loved my entire life even more personal. And I said, if you've spent the last 25 years playing the European masterworks, what you're going to do is spend the next 25 years explaining and learning and telling about the works of William Grant Still and Florence Price, Margaret Bonds, and Samuel Coolidge Taylor, Chevalier de St. George, Robert Nathaniel Dett, and so many other words and other composers who've contributed to this. Because when we move beyond identity politics and understand why they've been excluded, it's a brief understanding of global and U.S. history that's based on exclusion and erasure, for the simple fact of making stratifications and hierarchies that are just based on what we look like, to either ascribe value or to take it away from you for no other reason.
You better
There's
talk
something
that
way
talk,
more
Joshua.
powerful about this
You
music.
better tell these
Music
people.
without words, that has an ability to express the human condition, to relate to other people, and allows us to really create and envision the world that we want. And so that's why I exclusively program the masterworks from composers of African descent, because it gives us another opportunity.
Okay. I'm sorry. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. Y'all go watch it. I'm gonna finish it when I'm done. Okay.
You hear me?
Listen.
Welcome to church.
And do okay. Pass the tray around that side.
That's it. Well,
Right
I
up.
said pass the tray around on that side.
yes.
'Cause
Yes.
At that point, I'm invested. Like, what? They didn't even know. They didn't even know what was about to hit them. They're like, oh.
That was a really fun experience. And the craziest thing, I almost didn't do it because it didn't pay. I was like, very early on, I was just like, well, blah, blah, blah. And I had to stop and think about it. I was like, nigga, this is a TED Talk. How many gigs you about to get if you bang this out of control? Like, this is one that you totally can and should do for the exposure, because exposure is absolutely there.
Right.
So I think that's always something I always try to remind myself is, like, we're not out here chasing money. It's like, I always say it's purpose over profit for me. The money is important, but I'm like, if that was my perfectly aligned opportunity, and I'm just glad that I got over myself for a minute, so I actually do it for the right reasons. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
How hard was it to stay in that little red circle, though?
A little bit, because I didn't have my shoes on, and it was real slippery. It was that thick shag kind of. So I knew if I slipped too much, I'd be doing like cartoon style tumbles.
They would have been talking about something else. Tail would have been
Right.
talking about something else.
But yeah, that one was fun.
And shout out to Lance for the shirt. I recognized it immediately. I love the shirt. I actually have that one as well.
I live in that shirt. I live in
it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Piece. It was. He does, I forgot what it's called, but check out Lance Park. I don't even know if that's his name no more on Facebook, but check him out. Has amazing art. He's an amazing artist. But just overall, knowing you guys, watching you guys, and paying attention to everything that you all have done since I've known you, and just seeing you flourish and grow in all of the different ways, community-based, professional as artists, and all of that kind of stuff. I am so grateful that I get to experience you all in all of your amazingness and dopeness, and in your vulnerabilities as well, because sometimes that's hard to see Black men do, is to actually put their vulnerabilities out here for the world to see. And I'm grateful that you guys don't. I mean, even I'm sure you guys go through so much more behind the scenes, but what you allow the world to see, I want to say thank you for allowing us in your space in that way. So I am very grateful. And I mean, I guess I'll let them, find y'all.
Come on, well, thanks for sharing your platform, because when you asked, I was like, oh yeah, absolutely, we will do this. Because I remember you and I talked before your podcast was even a thing, right? That was
a thing.
all things to this. And so yeah, thank you for sharing that platform and getting to know everyone, because this has been I'm like, we could have done this in my house. This was fun.
For real, okay. And I can't wait till we start doing them live.
I'm very appreciative and grateful for the affirmation and the validation there, right? That is very important, especially around the support systems and all that. It feels good to be encouraged, and so I give that encouragement and that support back to each and every one of you as well, because it is so important and much appreciated. So yeah.
Absolutely. I'm definitely new fan.
Making sure. Listen, I'm finna be like, okay, so what was the orchestra name again? I'm gonna go back and watch this episode so I can start writing stuff down.
I got a whole list. List over there. So oh yeah. This has been fun, and thanks for letting us just be regular old people. I absolutely.
You guys are hilarious.
What'd you say?
You guys are hilarious. Okay,
girl, we ain't got no sense. We play the part well.
And that's the best thing.
Yes, we love reggae. We love people. We want everybody to come on here. Like, that's why I always say, like, this is conversational. This ain't.
Yeah.
You're not on here with Barbara Walters or Oprah or Gail ass. Like, you're not on here with none of them. Like, we on here to just meet you where you are.
And I don't even know. I don't really feel like I rock with Oprah anymore. I don't feel like I don't know her. She done turned into somebody that I don't even recognize. Oprah.
That's another episode.
All that money turned you into Nopra. So I don't. No. Bruh.
Can't argue when you're right.
Okay.
But bring me back for that show. Bring me back for that show.
Listen. He said, I'm ready. I'm ready to tell my story.
Yes.
Stuff around me.
Josh, tell the people how they can find you on social media and all of that good stuff. Y'all, I'm gonna put the TED Talk link in the comment section so you guys can make sure you go back and watch it, because he was going to church on our asses.
No, straight up.
And there's cool at the end of it. But if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's all one word. It's Sock Joplin. So SOCKJOPLIN. And I curate my social media. Just it almost is almost always strictly business. So it's usually research things, but it's music or other folks who are doing stuff. That's how I figured out how to keep my nose clean, because left to my own devices, I'm real slick at the mouth and real petty, and nothing ruins a career faster than being slick at the mouth and petty. So
I like you for a reason.
Don't mean I don't. Every now and then I just pick my spots. So I'll hop on your shit and act crazy. I don't do that on my
Yes, come on, okay? Because we allow that over here.
Okay,
come on.
Good.
Come on over here in your socks. Okay?
Get some feet up.
Come on over here in your socks.
But y'all are dope, man. Thank you. This has been a fun evening. This is a very good way to spend a Tuesday night. So thank you.
Thank you. And make sure y'all check them both out. Check out Jared with Premium Blend. It's Premium Blend Indie if you go look on other places, and Blend Indie on Twitter. Make sure you go check out the Sock Joplin. And if y'all go see him somewhere, bring him some quality socks. Don't get them ones from Dollar Tree. Okay.
I'll be grateful either way, but I mean, I've seen it. It's not hitting. It's not hitting. So don't
put a little more penny behind the thought. Put some more coins behind the thought. Okay.
Don't come with no jersey socks. Okay.
Don't come with no.
After a couple paid rehearsals, I'll be able to bring some socks. That's all I'm saying.
That's it.
Right. Don't come with the gold toe socks. It's creative and fun.
We'll see your rehearsal. Yes.
Don't show up with them damn measuring spoons, Pablo.
Oh.
Hey, you don't know what the sound different. You gotta come with variation.
You didn't even know though.
Okay.
Until they said teaspoon or tablespoon.
Right. You ain't even know.
Your whole choice was a spork, so
And you didn't even buy the spork. You got it from the Chinese restaurant. So
First of all, my Chinese people don't give me forks. They give me a fork. Thank you very much.
Oh.
So you were just gonna go jack them for a couple of plastic spoons. Okay, but either way, we gonna make sure Pablo show up to rehearsal.
Right.
Rehearsals. Hey.
We've got to get up out of here, y'all. Make sure you like, share, follow, and subscribe to the Fat Girl Chronicles YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, PGC Podcast on Twitter and TikTok. You can find us anywhere. You can Google us. We are Googleable, okay? The Fat Girl Chronicles, PHAT. Make sure you check us out. If you are available, July 15th. Yes, the Black Podcasters Association has their second annual summer social. You can add your swag to the bag, or you can become a sponsor or a vendor for the event. They have music, food, and drinks, and special guests that will be there. So make sure you are in the place to be July 15th. Also, if you're, and this is in New York, but if you're not in New York and you are in the Baltimore area, that guy down there that plays the spoons has an event popping. Also, tell the people about your event as well. I thought I had the flyer. I forgot to upload it. My bad.
Oh, yeah, no problem. July 15th at Sarkarigan Studios. Me and my best friend, who happens to be named Best Friend, we're gonna have a live show. I'm gonna do spoons. He's gonna play, the washer. We're gonna get it busy out there. But we have a podcast called the Toxicology Report. We do it every Saturday, drops every Saturday. But yeah, we're gonna do Battle of the Sexes. We'll put a whole bunch of people against each other, have a whole bunch of arguments. We'll have a town hall discussion as well. So get the fellas knowing what the ladies like, get the ladies know what the fellas like. Hopefully the after party will be more than 2 people there. But we'll see. Because people getting their feelings and they ain't gonna want to stay around. So we'll find out. Yeah, but July 15th, from 7 to 9. If you hear tickets on Eventbrite, check us out.
Tickets on Eventbrite. Check them out.
Got it.
Here she go. Lord, who they gave her time?
You wait until the last episode.
At least I did it. Okay. And look, my glasses.
Here's the information.
Yes.
Here's the information for the Toxicology Report event. It is at SMG Studios. Make sure y'all check them out in Baltimore, not Baltimore, y'all. Remember, no T, it's the D. Baltimore.
That's right, Baltimore.
All right?
Ain't no T in that word.
Baltimore. 2 shoe paraphernalia, what it do?
Oh, on the
but
avenue.
we are up out of on the avenue. But we're gonna get up out of this thing. Make sure y'all check us out. This is our last show of the month. We are going on a break. Okay. We need a break to regroup, refresh, renew, and bring y'all some dope content. We coming back on my birthday, August 1st. We coming back. My birthday. We're gonna bring y'all some amazing content. But in the meantime, in between time, make sure y'all go check us out on YouTube. Follow the Facebook page, follow the Instagram, subscribe, all those kind of things. And come check us out. Make sure you leave us some comments or email us if there is something that you want us to talk about, or if you want to be a guest on our next season when we come back. We are going into year 3. It's be year 3 that we've been doing this consistently, y'all. I've been out here in these streets for a while, these podcasting, blogging streets for a while. I've been doing this for 12 years now, but this is the most consistent that I've done this. But even in things that you do consistently, you need to take a break to refresh and to come back even doper and even harder. So we coming back in August. Make sure y'all follow us. And go check out PGC After Dark, because everybody on break. Everybody. I done sent everybody home. We didn't close down the shop. Okay?
And I'm going to be back with a fresh bottle of wine, baby.
We'll be back. Okay? I'll be back with a fresh fade and a new design on the side. All right?
I'm going to have a
Pablo
new wig.
Gonna come back with another wig.
Mm-hmm. You already know.
And
Really bang.
Pop will be back also with his shenanigans when we come back August 1st. All right, y'all. We love y'all, and y'all know what I say. Whatever you do for the rest of the evening and the rest of the week, and up until we come back, don't do it with your half ass. Do it with your whole ass, y'all. All right. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We thank y'all for tuning in. Catch us in August. We love y'all. Peace. And we out. You gotta do it with your whole ass, not your half ass.